Hi, hello, is this Ines?
Yes, this is Enos, actually.
Oh, Enos, okay. Sorry about that.
Uh-huh.
This is Tommy Bryson. How are you?
I'm good. Hi.
I'm doing good. Just want to let you know this call is gonna be recorded and potentially uploaded. How can I help?
Um, yeah, I've been listening to your channel. Sorry, there's a lot of noise here. And I've been trying to follow the steps, for financial freedom, like you said. And
Okay.
my question is we do, together with my husband, we do have a mortgage and probably a couple of car loan, which is not a good idea. I wish I knew
Mm-hmm.
before. But I am in my mid 40s and I'm thinking of retiring because I don't want to work my whole life,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe just work, but because I like what I do, maybe volunteer or work there and there, but you know, not as committed because of debt and not
Yeah.
financial freedom. So
Okay.
I was just wondering, like, I saw the reverse where you refinance and for 15 years you could pay off your mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering, like, how do I do that? Let's say if we're not on the same page, I'm trying to explain it, and my husband is on a different page. So
Yeah. So,
that's
all right. So here's what it sounds like, right, Enos? You correct me if I'm wrong here, right? It sounds like I'm kind of tired of this whole trajectory. We have a lot of debt. Eventually, I want to retire, and I don't see that being a
hmm
possibility with how we're currently going. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah. I'm thinking like maybe not 15, but 16, maybe 18 at the most,
Yeah.
because I don't want to work.
So 18
So
years. All right. So
yeah.
here's the truth, right? You
hmm
you can help your husband by basically trying to break it down to him and explain it to him, but you can't really change his mind. And that's something that might happen, for example, doing like counseling with him, um, marriage counseling potentially, so he can listen to you, and having like a third party to actually be there and kind of mediate between both of you. That's a possibility. Another aspect is you start to change, thus he'll have to change collectively, because
Oh,
if your income is going towards those same things that you don't want to support anymore and you're making changes, well, he'll have to adapt. Now that might lead to several things. That might lead to him just adapting, to him wanting to become a part of it, or to him just being super mad and maybe potentially hurting your marriage. So you
mm,
have to know what the consequences here are. Does that make sense?
that makes sense.
So it's a
That makes.
conversation, of course. You start the conversation. You tell them how you feel. It's not more about, and I'm not a counselor, by the way, so you want to get professional help on this. But from what I've
Oh
read
yeah.
and what I've studied, it's more like you tell him how you feel and you don't put blame on him. So you say, hey, I feel like we're not really moving forward, and this is actually just gonna mess up our whole future, whatever it is, right? So it's just explain how you
Correct.
feel. So overall, the first step
Mhm.
is becoming debt free. But before you even get to that step, there's a step zero, and that's basically getting a budget and getting a hold of your finances. So, in order to help you with this whole plan of yours, I gotta know
Mhm.
exactly what's your income right now. How much money do you earn?
Yeah, I make, I make six figures.
Okay, how much
Like
money
I
do
make,
you earn per month net?
oh, per month net. That'll be. Hmm. You mean for the whole family or just me?
You, because I can't use your other family's income because it's probably not gonna go
Oh,
towards that.
yeah. So that'll be like 12. I'm trying to. Yeah, I make about over eight. Like let's say 8,500 net.
Okay, so you make
Yeah.
$8,500 debt. I mean net. And what's your debt right now? Like, what do you guys owe money on?
Um, I have no credit card debt.
Does your husband have credit
Um,
card debt?
yes, he
Then you
does.
have then you have credit card debt also.
I
What's the credit card debt?
zero. No, I have zero credit card debt, and I have a car loan, like 25,000 car loan,
Okay.
and
Student
that's
loan
my
debt,
no student loan all paid off.
personal loans,
Yeah, no student loan, both of us. Yeah.
and no personal loans either.
No personal loan.
Okay, so all you have is basically just the car loan and the credit card.
Yeah, I got the yeah. No,
How
I
much?
don't have any debt. No credit card debt.
Okay.
I
So it's
follow you on.
yeah, awesome.
No.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like all you have is $25,000 in a car loan. The options here are simple but kind of hurt. If you're making
Mm-hmm.
six figures, how much is this car worth?
Oh, this car is worth way more than I owe because I um brand new is about 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to have an older version and I upgraded, so I got a like more than half paid off, and it's certified pre-owned. So
So,
it is
mm-hmm.
2017 Lexus. It's certified pre-owned, so I've had it for a year now. So one more year of certification.
So how much is the car worth?
The car worth 65,000 now.
Okay, so the car is worth, and that's according to you, or according to like
Uh,
an
it's
appraiser or like the other market.
an appraisal. I just got it pre-appraised a few months ago because the rate on it is really low, like
Mm-hmm.
2.6%.
Yeah.
I had I had it at 2.9, and the bank was offering like a promotion, so I just got it pre-appraised like a couple of months ago
Okay. So, all right.
and
So
bring
that's good.
it.
So the good news
Mhm.
is because your income is so high at around $102,000, you don't got to sell this car. So my advice would be what I would do is if I were you, I would aggressively pay it off if I want to keep it. If I don't want to keep it, I can potentially sell this car for
Mhm.
$65,000, pay off my
Oh,
loan, stick with $40,000, and then use that money to buy me, for example, a nice $20,000 car and pay cash for it. And I'm still left with $20,000. I can potentially use that to put that towards my mortgage. If you do want to keep this car, you don't have to sell it. If it was me, honestly, I would probably sell it because I don't really need the car. But if you like your car and you want to keep the car, it's fine. You don't have to sell it. Make sense?
oh, that makes sense. I like it. It has all the options that I wanted. So
Yeah. I mean,
I,
what do you think?
I've,
What are you thinking? Keep it, sell it? What are you gonna do?
I'm thinking keeping it because I have a couple of teenagers, and I will always traveling ball game and the team some
Mhm.
right there and there, and sometimes if we're going for family away,
Mhm.
um, with everybody can fit without having to rent a car,
All right.
and
It sounds like
luggages can fit.
yeah. It sounds
Yeah.
like you like the
Hmm.
car. That's fine, and you have the income to be able to justify it. So that's fine. No worries. Now, all right. So that's taken care of. But if you make $8,500 per month, how much are you guys
Hmm.
spending? How much money do you have saved up right now?
Oh, I do have about at least 6 months, including the car loan.
Mm-hmm.
6 months worth of, if I include the car
Emergencies.
emergency save.
Do you
Yes,
have any
I
other
do have.
cash?
The cash I do have is I do what you do. Like I'm on M1 Finance.
So that's
I'm
investment.
still trying
Okay.
to get out of ACORN, so
Mm-hmm.
I have the. I mean, would that be considered cash if it's in investment? I'm confused.
No, cash is cash. An
Cash is
investment
cash.
is a very liquid form of cash, but it can also go down and
Oh,
up like crazy. So it turns into
okay.
cash when you sell it.
Yeah. Besides the emergency fund, I do have a little bit that I have that SoFi where I put into like travel a little bit. So that will be about maybe 3,000, not much because
Okay.
I'm invested more, which I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't and pay the car first. So I don't. That
Yeah.
was another question for
How
you.
much do you have in your
I
emergency account in total?
In total, I have two different one. I have a Vio, which is a high heeled. I
Mm-hmm.
have about 11,000 in my high heeled savings on the Vio Bank,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have about 6,000 into regular bank lockdown, and
Mm-hmm.
about 5,000 into a holiday saving. But they give like the first $3,000 is 3%, so I
Mm-hmm.
have it there.
So you
Be how
have
much?
$22
11.
thousand dollars.
About, yeah, so that's the emergency fund. But my SoFi, I break the cash into two different. I give every money like a job, like kids, car. So that's about three to four
Okay.
thousand, 3,500. Yeah.
All right. So let's pause. Okay. All right. It's great
Okay.
that you give your money jobs, but it's time to give your money a mission, right? The
Mhm.
idea is your first step is to become debt free. So while you're doing that, you're not everything except the mortgage, by the way. Your first thing is you stop investing overall because you
Okay.
have this car and it's costing you money. So the idea is
Yes.
there's a few options here. Option one is you spend money on the necessities and you cut everything else out that you don't need. The necessities are basically shelter, utilities, groceries, and transportation. Whatever money is left over after you pay those things, you basically use that money to pay off this car as fast as possible. That's option one. Option two
Okay.
is you pay the
It doesn't
necessities. Go ahead.
0.6 interest. The interest rate doesn't matter. I know you said pay off everything that's high,
Yeah, you
so
pay
it
it
doesn't
off.
matter. Okay.
You, I mean, the thing is, right? That's called the avalanche method. The avalanche method is basically pay the debt with the highest APR. In this case, you only
Mhm.
have this one debt excluding the mortgage, so you would focus on this one first. If you had, for
Okay.
example, the credit card debt, another personal loan debt, then we would organize it. But because it's just one and it's just a car loan, I would pay that, right? And the idea of having like a car loan, the idea is that this car keeps depreciating and depreciating and depreciating. That's why the interest rate can be
Oh.
so low, and you're still losing a lot of money. So you pay that car because you want to have it, so that's fine. So option
Okay.
two is you pay the necessities. With the
Okay.
surplus, you can put that towards your car to pay it down as fast as possible. But also, you can potentially use your emergency fund to basically pay it off. Now that means you only keep around $1,000 in emergencies if you want, and boom, you
Oh.
use the rest to basically pay off the car in full. That's done. And then
Oh.
step two is you go ahead and rebuild your
The
emergency
bill.
account to 3 to 6 months. Make sense?
Okay.
That's
That
one
makes
way.
sense.
So 2 3 months
Oh,
from now, probably like 2 months with your income, you're fully debt free as
okay.
far as like the car and everything like that. And all you have to do is
Okay.
spend the next 2 3 months saving up money to rebuild your emergency account. But by that point, you're fully debt free. Now, step
Okay.
three would be when you start actually investing. Now, you start investing between 10 to 20% of your income into your retirement accounts. So if you have a job
Mm.
like you do, you take advantage of the match they give you. The rest of the money, you can put it, for example, to max out your Roth IRA. And if you max that out and you still have extra money left over, you can put that into your 401k. But it has to be between 10 to 20%, no more. Make sense?
Am am I doing too much doing both now? Because I maxed out my Roth and I maxed out my
I,
401k.
I, I would pause. I would pause all my
Okay.
investments while I'm in debt. Pay off the debt first
Okay.
because that's costing you money. You save for emergencies because if you lose your job and you have no emergency fund, you're not going to be able to invest anyways. And then you
Okay.
focus on investing because once you're there, investing with an emergency fund and no debt, you have full stability in a sense. So you're able to invest with confidence. So
Oh.
if you're investing at 10, 20%, get the match, invest into the Roth IRA to max it out. Just 10,
Mm.
20% should be fine. The rest of your
Oh.
money, the rest of your income, you can throw it all into extra payments towards the mortgage. Does that make sense?
Oh. That makes sense. And the mortgage is like we have a lot into the mortgage already. We
How
only
much do
owe
you have
about
left?
we only have like 170 because house was worth right now the house is worth like half a million, but when we bought
Congratulations.
it 320 thanks. It was
Hmm.
320 and we only owe 180 when we bought it.
Okay,
So
awesome.
we put lot of equity on it.
Okay.
That's
Now,
why I think we easily paid off. That way we could, in the next 15 years by following what you said on your channel
well,
and
it,
then
it won't it won't be the next 15 years with your income. It doesn't have to be that at all. When I say 15 years, is by basically getting a 15-year mortgage. That's the standard. If you follow my plan to a T and you're able to do it, you actually finish in 8 to 10 years. If you have the type of
oh,
income that you basically have, you'll finish in a lot sooner. Because the idea is,
oh,
for example, if you have a mortgage of $170,000, right?
right.
And you say, what are your payments by the way per month? Like $800,
The
900?
Right now we live in a town that is highly taxed, so the mortgage is about 1,700. That includes everything, insurance, and yeah, it includes the insurance.
Okay. And how much time do you have left on this mortgage?
Oh, it is for 30, and we've been in this house for 4, so I would say 26. Yeah,
Yeah.
26.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys been a little aggressive with
And
that mortgage. That's
and
that's that's good. Um,
the interest like 5%. So one thing was to refinance at a lower interest, but since
mhm.
it's been lower now, and then after that, cut it in half instead of 30 to 15. So the interest
Yeah.
rate
So
is
if
high.
if 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 you want to refinance to a 15-year mortgage, that's fine. It will reset things. Just don't take the money out. Just put it right back into the property. That way, like you're
Yeah.
left with the same amount. But here's the math, right? If you do refinance into a 15-year mortgage, I don't know what your property taxes are and your HOA and your homeowner's insurance are, but it's gonna be like around
Mhm.
1350, right? But in your case, because you
Yeah.
pay more property taxes, it might be different. But let's say,
Yeah.
for example, it is $1,700, and you're able with your income to throw an extra $2,000 per month onto this whole like mortgage, right?
Right.
You'll be done by 2026. So
Oh,
5 years from now, you'll be fully done. And that's just with an extra $2,000 of your income. If your husband puts an extra $2,000 also, you guys will be done a lot sooner. Now,
oh,
while you're paying off the mortgage, paying extra money towards it, the goal is you're still investing that 10, 20%. And the reason you want to do this is because basically 5 years from now or 6 years from now, potentially, you have no debt at all, including the mortgage. You have a full blown emergency account. You have a good amount of money into your investment accounts. And you obviously have no mortgage. So now you have this income that you're basically able to invest a lot more money aggressively, but you also have a lot more money just to have fun and do whatever you actually want to do with it and actually enjoy your money a lot more. That's the payoff of
okay.
doing this. So you never stop
Okay.
investing. You can invest more by this point. And the goal is to get to a point where your investments are going to make you enough money passively for you to be living off.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Wow, I can't believe you. I'm talking to you after all the videos. You told me, my daughter. Thank
Hello.
you.
All right.
That's
Sounds
my
good.
daughter.
All
She's the
right.
one that said, "Tommy, get Tommy." Thank you so much.
All right, and just want to let you know, before we go, these calls are free. If you want to call me back and just go over some of the steps, you can feel free to do so. Okay?
Oh, okay. I just got worried because it's 15 minutes and it's like 17. I'm like, oh my God, is this?
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. But yeah,
Oh,
welcome to the long term team. If you guys want to call back, feel free to do so. So remember, to summarize: step one, debt free; step two, emergency fund; step three, invest and pay off the mortgage; and step four is just keep investing and enjoy your money. Okay? All
oh, great. Thank you so much. You hear
right.
that? Thank you, Tommy. So
All right.
great. I will probably follow up. Thanks.
All right. Peace
Bye.
out. Bye. All right, guys. So that right there was awesome. And by the way, you might say, Tommy, why not push this lady a lot more in this car? Like, why not tell her sell the car? You can buy a brand new spanking vehicle for cash and be fully like whatever you want. The answer is, there's a lot of tell signs when you talk to someone. There's the I live in a neighborhood where it's kind of expensive, most likely a nice neighborhood. It's a nice car. I can take my family out wherever I want to take them out. It's big. The answer is, it sounds like, hey, I like my car, Tommy. I like the status that I actually have with my car, so I don't push that far with those things. And on top of that, I make enough money to actually have the car. I think Dave Ramsey's rule is basically, as long as your car is not more than half your income, you should be just fine. And that's the idea. So if she only owes $25,000 in it and can pay it off in 2 months with her income, by the way, and paying off with an emergency fund, why not do it? And then basically spend the next 3 months basically rebuilding her emergency fund, and then so on and so on. Now, the biggest problem with this I see is the fact that the husband is not involved. Now, this means that there's a lot of ways to do this, right? I do this, thus I inspire my husband. I do this, thus I inspire like a problem. I do this, thus maybe just ignores it or whatever it is, and I feel like, hey, I'm not being validated. There's a lot of things, a lot of ways you can go down. So that's why I say, for example, hey, get counseling, get help, have a professional talk to you guys about this relationship thing, because that's what's actually important. Me personally, I'm not going to change his mind. I'm not going to change your mind. You have to be open to actually receiving the information. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for these calls. I really appreciate them. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. If you want to call me on my next call, feel free to do so. The link is down below, and calls are free, by the way. On top of that, also follow me on Instagram at Tommy Bryson, or send me a DM on Instagram at Tommy Bryson. I don't know why I said it like that. Here's more content here. Here's the other channel. Subscribe to the channels, guys. I appreciate the support so much. And comment down below, what did you think about this call? Peace.